recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you and Senator Klobuchar for organizing this hearing today. And thank you both for your courage in coming forward and speaking out. I can only imagine how difficult that has been, but so vitally necessary if there's ever going to be any change, not just with respect to Meta, but with respect to the whole ecosystem. I wanted to ask you, in some of your prepared remarks, or things you said in the past, you identified information essentially that Meta's legal department or others willfully erased, removed. Can you tell us specifically what you're referring to there?
For sure. So I would like to contextualize this with an example. I was running a survey, for instance, that I discussed a little bit in my disclosure, where we found explicit information showing that women were being emotionally and psychologically harmed. After that survey was released, a legal team came to me and said, this survey will not run in the future no matter what unless you take those questions out. That would be something along the funnel that they are preventing any additional data from being collected around that topic. In other instances where I saw emotional or psychological harm as one example, and I had already written the report, legal actually opened the report with me and said, you have to take out these slides, you have to take out these lines. And for context, in research, all data on the back end needs to be deleted in 90 days. So if legal is going into a report and taking out lines or slides, they are effectively simply erasing the data anyway, because it's our ethical duty as researchers to erase everyone's other private data before we analyze it as well. So those are just a couple examples of things, ways that they would remove that information.
And what kind of justification, if any, did they give you for deleting that data, or instructing you not to ask those questions? How overt were they about concerns that this would expand their exposure, or these were answers they didn't want to know, or they just wanted to purge the record of anything that didn't reflect well? I mean, what's the point of doing research if you're going to so bias the result? But what did they articulate as their justification?
Legal's repeated explicit statements to me was that we did not want this data because it was too risky for us to have, because if there was an outside audit, it would be discovered that Meta knew about these harms. That was said to me dozens of times by my direct legal partners that I was forced to work with from Meta.
And was there any pushback to that idea within Meta? That is, were there others at Meta who were saying, we're seeing real harms here, and whether you minimize your legal exposure or not, the harms are taking place. Something has to be done about this. Was there any kind of pushback like that?
There was. I know myself. I went to both management and leadership over years with this, and it was entirely denigrated and pushed aside. Other researchers that I knew who shared similar concerns either left the company or were in direct fear of losing their role and decided to stop speaking up about it out of retaliation and losing their job.
And the management that rejected these concerns out of hand, how did they reject them? What was their argument?
In one instance, my direct manager stated that she agreed with me and that I might very well be right, but that we needed to listen to legal anyway because that was the instruction.
And did that kind of instruction, in your view, reflect the top leadership at the company essentially was legal, following what they believed to be the culture of the very top leadership at Meta?
When this entire change after Haugen happened, leading to what we're discussing now, it went as high as Meta's own CTO, Andrew Bosworth, arguing with people one-on-one in comment sections about researchers speaking out about these problems. The CTO of the company was arguing with researchers like us who were speaking up, saying that this lockdown on research was inappropriate.
And do you have any sense from your colleagues who are or were within similar positions in other of the tech companies, whether what you were experiencing was an anomaly or whether what you're experiencing is really the rule within the industry? That is, see no evil, hear no evil, don't want to have to address any evil or any ill result, no matter how dire it might be on young people.
After working at Sony PlayStation, at Meta, and working directly with individuals who worked at Google, et cetera, I can say that this is pure Meta.
So this is, you think this particular culture is unique, harmfully unique to Meta?
Correct. Every tech company has issues with schedules and the fast pace leading to certain trade-offs. But this culture of kowtowing to legal blindly, I have not heard of it anywhere else.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. I think there's interest in the second round.